As long as you don't rearrange your glasses into any kind of shapes.
Steven, I promise you.
Can we look back on that now and talk about that and just say what a funny thing that was? I mean, our listeners don't know this.
What exactly are we talking about? And welcome everyone to episode 223 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you are going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Anthony, and Anthony.
Hey, AAA.
Hey, I locked my keys out of my car. Where you at?
ring.
I got a flat tire.
Got a flat tire. Hey, do you need a trip ticket? Does anybody still go to AAA to get a trip ticket?
Watch them pull out all the things and then highlight red marker and put it together.
From Kings Island.
Yeah. You see the things that people won't get to experience anymore. The trip ticket.
No, they don't.
Just plug it into your GPS and then you go.
No turning pages.
Yeah. So how are you guys doing?
Freezing.
Literally.
It's very cold. Yeah, school's canceled tomorrow for just being cold.
Yeah, and it's been a while since school's canceled for the cold, and I saw that my family in Houston, Texas has about, I think, 3 inches of snow.
Oh, they don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, that's very rare. Doesn't snow in Houston very often. So welcome to the extra frigid edition of the mashup. Mom, my feet have been cold literally all day to the point where I even put Uggs on. Yes, I'm a man who wears Uggs. And Kenny's face. You knew that, didn't you?
I don't think so.
You didn't know that? Okay, well, Steven did because I think I've talked about it before, but I'm a man.
I've seen your thong come out of your blue jeans when you bend over to pick something up. I did not know about the Uggs.
Banana hammocks and Uggs. Okay, anyway. Oh, boy. So I heard I missed out on an opportunity that there was a grand opening of a new restaurant. Well, not a new restaurant, but a new location of a Lexington restaurant that I've yet to go to, but Kenny has been many times, and Steven, you've not been either.
I have not been.
But it's Omakase, which is our friend
Julius
Santini, who is the proprietor of this wonderful sushi restaurant that I've yet to go to. But I was hoping I'd be able to get there, but I was on vacation again.
Yeah, so like you guys have been cold. I'm not cold today. I'm still full from last night. I have food sweats, meat sweats, rice sweats, fish sweats, whatever. Yeah, it's bro. I'm telling you,
is fish sweats a thing?
Man, after last night. Me, Alves, and he didn't like to be out in the what's his name? What should I say?
A gentleman of opportunity.
There you go.
There you go.
Me, Alves, and a gentleman of opportunity, and our better halves went.
Sounds like a lady of the night, but the male version.
Oh my God, dude, that's great.
And man, so anybody in the Lexington area or you visit Lexington. I mean, it's literally the best sushi. His place is top notch. One of the best in the country from what I met people that travel around and eat sushi at high end places that have told me, hey, yeah, I've been to this place. It's like, going to the high end place in New York or wherever. But the new location's in Palomar and they have a much bigger kitchen. So now they also have like a grill on top of that. So they had some different grilled things. Man, we ate just amazing. It was crazy.
What was the most exotic thing that you had?
Everything, because I eat like a kindergartner. But
it's chicken tenders and mac and cheese, huh?
But
peanut butter and jelly.
I mean, just sushi in general is very. That's I'm trying to think. Last night, what was the most exotic? I know there was something with a quail egg on it that also was not. Maybe there was so much stuff. Alves would know better on some of the names of that stuff. But
did they have a leg of lamb roll? The Greek needs to ask,
I
can dream.
I believe you have to cook that right.
Yeah.
If not, you get an obnoxious laugh and grow long hair and a beard. So.
Go back today.
Shots fired.
No. I'm not joking. If anybody is coming to Lexington, obviously Obstinate Sons, OBC Kitchen, you got to give Omakase, man. It is just, the food is so good.
How about that? So
amazing time. Walmsley was there. Saw CJ there. Saw Smallwood's dad there. It was
nice.
a good time, man. There's a lot of people.
So packed house for a new opening of Omakase. And if you're coming to Lexington, I don't know what order you want to do it in, but you also want to hit south of Wrigley somehow. And if you eat them all in one day, then
lots of sweats.
you probably won't make it back out.
Did you see a sandwich for tomorrow?
No,
I
what
did.
is it?
Is a Cuban cheesesteak, right? Or Cuban?
I think it's like a Cuban something or other. Cuban cheesesteak, I think. Which
gosh.
Are you going to be there for that?
I might have to go.
I was going to say, the kids are
I'm
off
off
school.
work.
I might have to figure that out.
have to go.
That's it. We're invading Randall's spot for the specials. Very good.
Seriously. So good.
So the other thing that we should talk about, because it's a very recent thing, is our barrel pick.
Man, yeah. So, yeah, we are recording on Tuesday,
Yes.
full disclosure. And so today we sent out the socials and emails, and that barrel, it was very humbling how many people were interested in that bottle.
Right. I was talking to Steven when we put out the initial social media post asking people to send emails, which we are very thank you for your patience with that. It was a combination of us cataloging emails and putting them into a note so that we had them to be able to do the release in a fair manner.
Very manual process.
Very manual process, a lot of labor involved. But the funny thing is I was talking to Steven on the way over here, and I said, so were you amazed at how the messages just kept coming in? And he was like, yeah. He's like, what did you say?
So Saturday, my phone just kept on going off.
Right. It was
just
nonstop.
buzzing there.
Yeah.
And it was all just people saying, I want a bottle. Here, here's an email address.
Exactly. And I had to I was in Nashville, and I had to put my phone on silent at a certain hour because my wife was like, what is that buzzing? We're trying to sleep. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to put my phone on silent now. I'm sorry. And so with that, we know roughly 120 to 130 people reached out to us for bottles we did not have. And we are going to try to take care of you next time. There will be another pick. But, I was thinking about that. If anybody ended up missing on this release that really, 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 really wants it, we might be able to find some way to sweepstake some samples and stuff like that out to people in the future, because I know how much we are humbled by the outpouring of support for our podcast and supporting this pick. And it wouldn't have been possible without Ryan Alves, Bourbon Outfitter, and also Ryan Lentz at River Roots. So thank the Ryan times two. But we really, really thank our listeners. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get all sappy over here, but it was just really incredibly humbling to see how many people were wanting a bottle.
Like, I figured it would sell all the bottles, but I was just pretty astonished how quickly people were interested in it.
Right.
And
yeah.
I thought we would, have like a little pre-release like that.
Right.
Then it would go live to the public, and it'd take a few days to sell out. But
yeah.
we could have used like 70 more bottles.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
So
yeah,
pretty wild.
It is. It's wild. And another thing I wanted to say is I'm a person who has taken many L's on shoes, on bourbon, you name it. I'm a collector. I love to collect stuff. And so don't let that discourage you if you didn't get hit on the random that we did. That was the fairest way that we thought we could do it, was by putting all the names into a list and randomizing it. But we have all your names and all your emails saved, and we will be reaching out to you in the future.
Yeah. And, and definitely, if you really want one, you can just PM Anthony.
That's what Kenny's saying, but he's lying.
Nah, I mean, if you hadn't bought 50 of them for yourself, and more for other people.
So,
I'm teasing.
I was going to say I did buy a few, but I wanted to take care of some of my.
We actually bought
members.
less than we wanted.
Yeah, we wanted to buy.
So we all
more.
talked about what we were going to buy last month, 2 months ago. And then once we saw the outpouring in, we actually all bought way less to keep for ourselves than we had wanted. So
yeah. But got to take care. I was thinking to myself, like, that'd be really wrong of me. My brothers, who I've helped through their bourbon journeys, that are always big supporters of this podcast, and like, oh, hey guys, we did a barrel pick. You aren't going to get a bottle now. So those are the kind of people I wanted to take care of, and I've got no shame in that. But yes, we did end up with less than we wanted. I wanted about 300 bottles of that pick. That's how delicious it is. And when you get it, we have to say that if you're one of the people who's lucky enough to get it, we want you to post about it. Post it on Instagram. Tell us your tasting notes. Tell us what you like, dislike. Doesn't matter, but mostly like, because we want to see all that too.
Yep.
if you don't like it, just use a PM PM only. Nothing public.
Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
Only
Honestly,
send your feedback if you don't like it.
no, it's a 12-year MGP at 124-ish
Yeah, 124.
proof. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. It's a banger.
Well, gents, we have another review this week.
We do, and the way that this one came to fruition, if you will, was interesting because we're always telling you guys to reach out to us, and many people have pointed out to us that they can't really leave anything but a comment on Spotify, and they're worried that we're not going to see it. So this 5-star review was left for us on Spotify, but then the actual comment was left for us via DM. And so this one comes to us from Jeremy Zinn. And he said, I had the pleasure of meeting you and Ryan, he's talking about Kenny, with my buddies from West Virginia. We ate barbecue, tasted Maker's Mark Cellar 24, and of course, you brought some really good bottles to taste. That's not a surprise there, Kenny bringing bottles. He said, so glad to meet you, Shannon and Ryan, and your suggestion to listen to the podcast. It was one of my highlights for my first trip to Kentucky. I've been listening to the pods while in my bunk out on the oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico. Wow. That's amazing. He said, glad that you have an uncle who lived in Huma. I lived there for almost 20 years. Did I pronounce that right, Kenny?
Homa.
I said Huma. To Homa, 20 years, and recently moved back to West Virginia. He said, I still go there every month to catch the helicopter for work. Anyway, I really enjoy the podcast. You guys are really fun to listen to. Really love the scoring buying system at the end. Keep it up. Hope to see that kitchen someday. And he's talking about Kenny's kitchen remodel. Yeah. That's famous now, too.
He knows when he comes to town, man. We got to hang. So.
Yeah, well, Jeremy, thank you for that. That's another incredibly humbling review. We appreciate it. It's always nice to hear from our listeners, especially those out in the Gulf of Mexico. My goodness.
Gulf of what?
Where else have...
Oh, the Gulf of Mexico. That's right.
Gulf of what?
It's going to be renamed.
The Gulf of America.
It's going to be Gulf of America. You know what? Of all the things that were said in the inaugural speech, because I pay attention to every single inaugural speech.
I didn't watch any of it.
When I heard that, I was laughing, and not laughing because I agree or disagree with it, just because it's so over the top, you can't help but laugh. You know, you're like, oh my God. Yeah. So there you go. Pretty soon, not going to be the Gulf of Mexico, but the Gulf of America. So.
I'm gonna have to get some. I got a globe out in the garage still. You know, old school globes. I'm gonna have to get some white out.
You get white out on there.
White out my globe.
But you can't do that. It's gonna be worth money. All the old stuff that says Gulf of Mexico is worth money.
That's true.
That's a collector.
If you had one that said USSR and Gulf of Mexico,
oh, there you go.
It's a gold mine. And if you'd like a shout out, just leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Amazon. And next time we record, we'll give you a shout out.
That's right. And also YouTube now. You can leave comments
that is
on
right.
YouTube.
So we haven't got it fully fleshed out, but every episode should be on YouTube and searchable and public.
Right.
And so we're going to work on making it better searchable. But right now, just search Mashup KY, and there you go.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah. And if anybody, there's a lot of times I'll watch Bourbon Junkie videos, but I'm not really watching them. They're just playing because I'm doing other things, or I'm just listening to it.
Right.
So honestly, if any of the listeners, want to start listening on YouTube, that would actually be good. Yeah,
I toss them in my pocket sometimes and do that. Exactly what you're talking about. And then I think premium subscribers to YouTube can actually do that without having to. You can actually listen to it without having to have the video up, right?
Yeah, you think you can lock the screen and it'll just keep playing.
Keep playing. So. Yeah, definitely. We're trying to get the podcast out into as many places as possible, along with leaving the review. Another thing that you can continue to do, and a lot of people are doing, is please tell your friends that are into bourbon about our podcast. Can't say it enough. That's how a lot of people find out about us, is through recommendation, through word of mouth, things like that. And if you forget what we're called or how to find us, you ever pull up your Apple Podcast app, type in bourbon, and we are always populating in the top 4 there, I think, today.
So it's easy to find.
Yeah, today I was talking to a dad at my son's basketball thing who's become a friend. It's funny, his name's Michael Anthony. My name's Anthony Michael. So, of course, we'll never forget each other because of that. And I said, pull out your phone, just type in bourbon instead of trying to tell him about mashup. And I was like, here it is. And he's like, oh, my God, you guys populated top 3? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, cool. He's like, I'm going to give it a listen. So,
okay.
Yeah, so keep recommending us to your friends and family and anybody else in your circles.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Well, boys, for this week, I don't think I'm going to pop any bottles because I'm going to get carpal tunnel. But for this week, I think we have a nice blind that Kenny has set up for us.
And it was inspired by you.
Yeah. Yep. So we have 6 tonight. So, a few months ago, and things just got delayed with just the best of blinds and meetups and all that good stuff. Steven had sent a group text, and he had picked up and saw the Jim Beam 7-year bottle.
Right.
Just throw an idea out.
And my reply, because that's the thing too, I'm really bad at like short replies if I'm busy. Because I don't like really, I don't like use a filter or like, add some nice fluff to it or anything. So I'm like, dude, that bottle sucks, whatever. And then I just wait, because I was in the middle of like 4 things,
Yeah.
And then I replied back, I'm like, well, hang on, and then we started talking more about it. I had that bottle, Silent Bob brought that over.
Okay.
And he was talking about how he liked it for the money. What was that, $25? $22?
Yeah, it was in the mid-20s, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he talked about how, for the money it was good. I tasted it and I was like, ugh, I did not like that. So then, of course, knowing me, like 10 minutes later, I blinded Silent Bob with that and something else that was inexpensive. And he was like, ooh, this is not good. I'm like, yeah, that's your Jim Beam 7. So, but that led to the next thing of, well, number one, we do need to review it because we never reviewed it.
Right.
7-year age statement's bold, but then we started just going down, letting the domino effect. Okay, what other 7-year bourbons? And so now we have 6 7-year bourbons in front of us
that we don't know.
Damn it.
And this is a single blind for me. It's pretty much a double blind for you all. You all know that Jim Beam 7 is one of those 6, but you don't know what the other 5 are.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
that's
it's
right.
pretty much a double blind for you all, single blind for me. But I wanted to do this because, like we talked about with a lot of the Buffalo Trace stuff, being non-age stated,
Right.
but it's still very good, and they get away with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started talking about some things will have a shorter age statement. You're like, oh no, I'm not paying that much money for a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old. Sometimes even you'll see a crazy price on something that's 12 years old. And then another 12-year-old bourbon is like 1/5 the price, So
Right.
what we're kind of doing here, I've got a vast array of price ranges of
That's
7-year
great.
bourbons.
So these are all 7-year bourbons that we have in front of us?
7-year age stated on the labels too, so it's not
Okay.
like a guesstimate. I mean, it legit is 7 years on the label.
Nice.
And this is a good time to remind our listeners that a 7-year age statement means that 7 years is the youngest that's in the bottle. It's funny, a lot of people still don't realize that. And so even though this is 7-year age stated beam, it could theoretically have,
20-year stuff in it.
I'm like, oh, that
30.
20 or 30. Yeah, exactly.
30.
Did you get that 30-year-old barrel? Yeah, it didn't taste too good. Okay, dump it in the 7-year blend. But there's always people theorizing about that, about things being older. I mean, when things carried 12-year age statements, there's always people talking about things being, up to 18-year-old juice in the 12-year blends and stuff. So be interesting.
A lot of your dusties are like that because of the whole glut era and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which.
And their Elijah Craig barrel proof batches were also like that.
Yep, that's right. And even after all that time we spent talking about the oldest and youngest Elijah Craig, there has not been any old releases like C923, which I saw sell for $185 today on the enthusiast markets.
That's good.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm sitting on a few of those that I need to just get rid of.
Well, there you go. 185.
Not because they're not good.
Yeah.
They were good. I've just I have too much whiskey.
Yeah.
And I'm buying too many. I've been on too many picks, so I've got to make room for the picks that I was on to get those bottles.
Kenny, I thought that was last year's New Year's resolution was to thin out your collection. The things you wanted. Here we are, 2025, and you kind of said the same thing.
Well, I'm dead serious. More did go out last year than came in.
There you go.
That's
You
good.
made room.
But remember, 1 is more than 0. 2 is more than 1. So, but more.
I love the way you're reading.
So you're saying 100 went out, but 99 came in.
It's not too far from that. But yeah, some definitely more went out than came in. But I do need to thin a lot more. Yeah. Dude, I was talking the other day. I think I did like 30-something picks last year, and so I don't buy all the picks I'm on, but
minimum of 3. That's 90.
But I've got a lot of those picks are going to start hitting.
Right.
So I've got to make room and get rid of other stuff.
Well, I did that the other week. I sold like 6 pairs of shoes, And then like 3 days later, I was on my phone trying to buy 3 pairs of shoes. And I like took my phone and threw it. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying not to buy more shoes. I just sold those shoes and I'm going to buy and replace them with other pairs that, I mean, I'll wear them, but still, I mean, yeah, it's tough, man. When you collect things and you also enjoy them, like I wear my shoes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you drink the bourbon, you enjoy it, you collect it, and it just keeps growing, even if you don't try to have it happen.
And not to get like sentimental or emotional.
Oh, you're going to get emotional?
Yeah. It's like when Anthony was in Cleveland.
Can we stop about that? Go ahead. What's your emotion?
Kenny, what happened?
What's happened?
Well, that's what you guys need to understand how much you mean to me.
Oh, that's so nice, Kenny.
Because I am recording tonight, and the brand new Diablo Season 7 just came out today. So I am recording instead of playing Diablo.
Wow. Well,
so just so you guys know.
Well, we appreciate that. I didn't know where you're going with that, but now I know, and it means a lot.
It's much cleaner than I thought.
All right. So you can score if you want. Since it's 6 of them, I'm just going to push them forward and backward. Just do first through 6th place. I'm not really going to like give a true score. And since these are not 2024 releases, we don't have to like score them like we talked about doing for this year.
Whew, break from the scoring system. I needed that already. We had barely started, and I already needed a break.
I'm going to take some notes and that kind of stuff as well.
I'm going to take some notes and table talk too, so there could be some fun banter here.
And there are clearly, now we are not using Black Glens, but there are 2 of these that are clearly darker than the rest.
Are you talking about glasses 3 and 4?
Yes.
Yeah, you can just see their darkness.
Yeah, they must be older than the other ones.
According to Leah, age ain't nothing but a number. R.I.P. Right? All right. This nose, even though one's light, the nose is still not bad.
Left or right?
Yeah.
That's how we're doing it.
Oh no, I mean, you can do any order you want, man. Yeah.
As long as you don't rearrange your glasses into any
Yes.
kind of shapes.
Steven, I promise you.
Can we look back on that now and talk about that and just say what a funny thing that was? I mean, our listeners don't know this.
What
but I feel
exactly are we talking about?
you know what we're talking
When you went
about.
diagonal, like you're playing checkers. You were hopping and skipping and
it was
moving.
line of sight.
Oh
We were
my
doing the
gosh.
same thing.
It was great. This did not make it into the podcast because it was cut, but there was a contentious moment probably about a year
ready to
ago
kill him.
where we were doing it blind.
And I was egging it on. Too.
And Steven
Yes,
was
you
just and it was great because as Kenny was getting more irritated, Steven kept egging him on. And the funniest thing I remember is you looked right at him when he's like, "What's the matter with you?" And you're like, "You gonna tell me how to drink my bourbon now?" I thought you guys were gonna come to blows, and now I can look back on it and laugh. But that was amazing. Wow. So I like the nose on 3 so far. This one on 4 smells perfumey, but that could also be the musk that I put on this morning.
The Elon what?
No, I was talking about Jovan Musk.
Oh, okay.
Some little stocking stuffer cologne that I had when I was like 6 years old. One of those deals.
Oh, wasn't Stetson?
Man, the nose on
Stetson.
7.
Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Dude, the nose on 7 is weird.
Yeah, it's not as heavy as I thought it would be. Yeah,
Oh, the
7.
nose?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not
It's
saying I
like-
like it, but it actually has a nose, whereas like number 6, I don't get anything on number 6.
7's got like a black licorice nose. That's what it is.
When you say 7, do you mean 6?
It's true because they're all 7.
Well said. There you go. At least somebody got it. I'm just kidding. I'm always slow with that kind of stuff.
So what were you saying about 6/7?
I thought it tasted like black licorice. Ooh, never mind. That's peanut fufu. The peanut sauce. I switched from black licorice to peanut sauce.
Now, I am going to score these as we go. Not like a true score, but just I'm going to number them that way I know versus just push,
Kenny, if you give everything a 7, I'll understand, okay?
Wait, you said to push. Now you're telling me not to push?
No. I'm going to push
put it
forward and
forward,
backward.
right.
The problem is where there's 6 of them, I think they're going to fall off the edge of the table.
I'm gonna.
Oh, too many forward?
I'm gonna write them on this paper.
Yeah, I
here.
poured 6. So y'all going to be shocked on a few of these, man. For real. Y'all going to be shocked.
Ooh. Okay.
I see that video the other day, Anthony?
Which one?
The Bourbon Junkies put out.
Oh, the one that you had you in it?
Your boy was in it.
Oh my God, dude. Steven, have you seen this yet?
The one where you were lurking in the background?
He wasn't just lurking.
In the foreground,
he
dog.
participated.
That's right.
Yeah, we got to put that out for our listeners to see. But the cool thing to connect the dots here, a couple people did. That video is the earlier part of the day before
We all
the
recorded that
episode that was recorded that evening. And so when I saw that video and saw what you guys were doing and saw Sean trying to get his drone off the roof, I was like, oh my God, things make so much more sense now. And I also don't know how anybody was able to record because there was a lot of drinking for you guys.
So what happened with the drone? Did you ever get it off?
Yeah, how did that come down?
I saw it. They were trying to hook it.
You have to ask, they're going to have somebody go up on the roof next time they do some maintenance or clean and get it, but I don't know if they ever got it.
It's gonna survive the weather.
It's crazy.
Right, it would be frozen
Right now, it's frozen.
Yeah. The tasting note for number 1 is so predominant, like straight peanut skin shell. Everything I hate about a peanut flavor in bourbon is in number 1. So I'm just telling you guys that. Maybe you taste something different, but I certainly don't. Number 2 has some notes in it that could be confused for rye.
Well, I had a few 7-year ryes, and I decided not to put them in there.
Decided to not?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be prejudiced straight up, but 3 and 4, I think I got to drink those last because
you enjoying the most?
I don't see how 3 and 4 is not going to crush
the rest of them.
The rest of them. So,
you know what? You just gave me a good idea. I need to take a picture of these just so we have something.
Oh, for the pod, yeah.
Yep. On this picture that's going to be posted for this episode, you will be able to see the difference in color, the 3 and 4 between the others.
Well, and also I do have all the bottles. So we can line up all 6 bottles.
Oh, nice. Very good. So you mean we're not doing it by Kenny's Mystery Samples Smorgasbord?
I'm trying to think. I think all of these actually I have the real bottle left, I believe.
Well, I think I already have 2 of the ones I don't like as much as the others.
Okay. You want to care to elaborate? We like the table talk. See if you can sway me.
And that's the easiest, like we talked about before.
Yeah, right.
When you're doing a big barrel pick, take the worst and get rid of the worst first, and just you don't try to pick your best first. You definitely get rid of the worst ones.
I'm going to try to taste like Alves here. Hold on 1 second.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on 1 second.
Where's the ink pen clicker first?
Hold on. Here, I'll taste like Alves. Ready?
Yep.
There you go. There you go.
He's gonna kill you, dog.
I'm going to choke.
He's gonna kill you. That's what you get.
See, I couldn't even impersonate
That's
Alves.
what you get.
I was joking. It's out of love.
I told him I threw it, Ryan.
I can't recreate that. I might be able to recreate it with water, but
he's a pro, dog.
He is a pro. And you know what's funny? When you taste with someone like that, and we say everybody has their own sort of things that they do, when I was listening back to that, I don't even notice that we're in the room. Like, I didn't pick up on that. Like, whatever it is, it's only when I was listening back to it in the microphone. But then I was thinking to myself, of all the people I've tasted with, I've never seen anybody do it like that. And he has a great palate, like an outstanding palate. And it's amazing how he tastes like that. But anyway, love you, Ryan. Not trying to make fun of you. In fact, I almost choked trying to impersonate you. So
that's what you get.
So I was going to joke and say, is this how real people live? I mean, I joke about that, but I mean, been blessed, man, to this 2024 tasted on the podcast and in life, probably the most amazing in terms of amount of whiskey I've tasted in the last 2 years has been epic. And so revisiting 7-year bourbon at various price ranges, not knowing which ones might be
right
more
after
expensive.
the best of.
Yeah, after the best of is very, very interesting.
So Kenny, can people buy these relatively easily?
We're looking for hints.
We will find out here shortly.
Great.
Now, since you brought up blinds, okay, the best of blinds, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
Also just while we're sipping here, I don't want to just. We did post our list last week of our championship round.
Right.
I had some pretty good feedback on some things, and people liked and messaged and all that. I replied to a couple comments, and I just stopped and let it all go. But I had a few different people PM me, but also like list on the post, like, they really didn't, they can't believe that this scored higher than this or that scored higher than that, and there's no way, all that stuff. And, I just do want to reiterate a few things. Number one, everybody's palate's different. What you like might be different than what we like. So I've definitely told multiple times on this podcast, said to find someone that your palate lines up with, and that might be us, it might not be us. But you need to find that person, and that's what's going to help you, figure out some whiskeys you want to buy without having to, buy or pass on without having to spend the money buying it. But the second big thing, and there's 3 points. Second thing is blinding. A lot of those people just didn't blind. Third thing is if you become an experienced whiskey drinker. So a lot of our podcast listeners I know are experienced whiskey drinkers, but I also know a lot are newer. They tell us they're newer. But when you get to be a little more experienced, you cannot just pour 2 blinds or even 3 blinds right in front of you with all 3 bottles sitting right there and call that a blind because, once you drink enough whiskey, you're going to be able to tell those apart. So I know a couple guys comments on there, they drink something side by side with something else. I'm like, man, but they weren't double blind. So since you're single blind, and your palate is definitely good enough to know what is what. So the big thing with us is, we did 66 together, or not together. We did 66, but we had no idea which 4 at a time, 5 at a time we were pulling.
Right.
So that way you're really blinded. And then championship round was still 10. So if you want to take like 8 whiskeys, 10 whiskeys, that's how you're going to really figure out, unless you can get one of your friends to double blind you. But like even doing those 10, I guess 7 out of 10 correct. So it's one of those, and I don't even blind anymore hardly. I don't blind to guess age proof distillate anymore. I just don't.
There were certain things that if you listen back to the table talk and to the episode, like both of them, and I do recommend listening to part 1 and part 2, we pegged Weller Millennium. It was pegged. We pegged American whiskey, right? There were certain things that we knew were there just based on, again, experience. And the funny thing is the reason why my palate was heightened for American whiskey is because of the blind that my buddy J.D. Fritches sent. Because he put an Old Carter American whiskey in there, and I couldn't place it because I hadn't drank American whiskey in a long time. That was 2 weeks before we did the final round, and I was like, dang. American whiskey. And so Kenny, I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm just saying, when you think about your own palate and you think about your evolution in tasting, even now as we sit here tasting these 7-year-old ones, I am going to be shocked if one of these isn't an NBC, 7-year-old NBC, because one of them smacks like it's NBC to me. And I don't know any of this. We just walked down in your basement.
Y'all are totally double blind other than the Jim Beam 7.
Exactly. So I just try to grasp at notes. I'm not going to make the false thing that you said. Don't try to guess what it is. I'm not trying to. It's just coming to me.
and what you said, Kenny, about how people were commenting about the scores.
Right.
That's 5 or 6 people.
Right.
An average of 5 or 6 people on those bottles.
Yeah.
Not just one or
6 persons.
Just you. Right.
Yeah. It's a clue. Yeah. It's and it's one of those things where say if you have 3 bottles of 4 Roses that are all the same recipe, I think even an experienced whiskey drinker can put all 3 of those in front of them, 2 of them in front of them, and blind those, and you can do that fine. But if you're anywhere semi-experienced, and you say, okay, I'm gonna see how good this 4 Roses is compared to this Heaven Hill, compared to this Buffalo Trace, and if you put those 3 together, only 3 right in front, you're going to be able to know what those are.
Right.
So you're not really going to get a true blind out of that. That's my opinion, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. I will just tell you guys where I was at with whiskey back in 2011 when I moved to Kentucky, and how I used to buy and taste bourbon then versus now. It's much different, but I still think the essence of what my palate was when I started and how I started tasting and liking things remains the same. It just evolves. What's wrong? Steven looks like he's very intense about one that he doesn't like. I've got my 2 I don't like.
I've just hit a couple that I was trying to go between 3 and 4 and see if they're correct, and
Gotcha.
It's got some notes that were a little harsh.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some harshness to some of these whiskeys.
I can tell you that my 1 and 2, I had them one way, and then I drank and I swapped them.
Okay.
So what I've done, I haven't even tasted the 3 and 4 yet. There's just no possible way, them being that dark, that the other bottles are gonna hang. So I drank through 1, 2, 5, and 6. Kind of scored those roughly. Then I went ahead and picked my last place, took my second to last place, and tried those next to each other to determine a true last and 5th place.
Yep.
Then I drank my other 2 to determine that. So then I'll move on to the ones I think might be the best. Cool part for you guys is double blind, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this shakes out for me. I kind of have a general ranking that I just made. I'm not going to share that with you guys yet. Oh, Steven, don't look. But I'm going to do the second tasting now and see if it aligns with what I kind of pegged. And I didn't really do age-proof distillate or anything. I just kind of went with predominant flavors and things that were pleasing to me versus things that weren't. And that's how I went with, I'll just tell you guys my last place whiskey right now and see if it resonates with you. My last place whiskey. Can I do that?
Don't do that yet.
Don't do it? Okay.
I'm amazed that there's a kind of a sharp drop-off on some of these, on between 1 and 2.
Well, you can say last place if you want, or just give me a second.
Okay. I won't say anything about last place yet. Kenny always needs extra time. That's a reoccurring theme when it comes to tasting bourbon.
Put it through its paces, though.
He does. I do tend to arrive at my conclusions a little bit quicker. I do go back and then take some time, because one thing you'll notice, and everyone's palate is different. For me, if I taste too quickly and in succession, I notice that things start to overwhelm the palate, and I can tell when it's happening. And you can't I have to take a sip of water and then I have to reset. I can't take a sip right after the water because it doesn't do any good. So
Right.
it's there's different things I've learned that I need to do to reset while we're tasting, so that I don't accidentally pick the wrong thing.
Do you sniff your armpit?
I do not.
Do you lick your elbow?
I actually lick the tip of my nose. I'm just joking. No, I don't do any of that stuff. But I have smelled my hand and done that kind of stuff to sort of reset.
Yep.
Yeah. They recommend that at various places you go on the bourbon trail, and then when the first time you hear it, you'll be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah. And just don't forget that kind of stuff, because it's actually
They used to keep that really dark chocolate down here, but somebody ate it all.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
I just need a lot of clearing
The
going
dark
on.
chocolate is gone.
Think I need to replace it, huh?
I'm like, Steven, you drank 3 bourbons. Why you eat 4 bars of chocolate?
Pound of chocolate.
Well, our listeners know
I need to
you.
buy some more. I keep forgetting.
You have a sweet tooth, and
I
you've
do.
eaten so much dark chocolate now we can call you Sexy Chocolate. Coming to America. For my band, give it up for my band, Sexual Chocolate.
God, I haven't seen that in for so
The
long.
dark chocolate's antioxidants.
There you
Yeah.
go, see? You're cleansing the body.
That's where I need a lot of cleansing.
I don't know what Kenny has on in the background here, but my God, what is happening over here?
Well, I had Diablo on because I had to update it so I could play when we get done.
I think I'm going to start playing Diablo.
And then Diablo shut off because I hadn't touched it in a while.
Yeah.
So it's some movie, Kevin Hart, some chick in a bikini, and now a bunch of
People that are passed out. I don't know what's
out.
going on
Is
here.
this The Hangover?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
Is it whatever it was on?
It's funny. One of our listeners will probably message us and be like, "Hey, this is the movie." 'Cause
Yeah.
we always
That'd
get
be great.
we get movie stuff wrong, and that's one thing about our listeners, especially my buddy Bolt in Cleveland. He loves to rake on us about movie quotes and incorrect stuff. He's all over that stuff. So yeah, Mr. Media.
I enjoyed.
Oh, gosh.
I enjoyed the time that he was around you. I thought I gave you a hard time. No way.
Who is this?
Yeah, Bolt, Jeff Bolt.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
from
He was
the Pit?
great.
Yeah, my buddy. Yeah, he
was funny.
is a great friend, and we have had some fantastic times together over the course of our friendship. And I'm glad that he was a part of the barrel pick. He's got a bottle coming his way, and I'm happy he does.
You can do your last place if you want.
Okay, are you ready for your last place too?
Yes.
My last place is number 1.
My last place is number 6.
My last is number 6.
All right. Well, I can tell you guys that my second to last place was number 6.
My 5th place is number 1.
There you go.
Yes. But hang on, I'm not done yet.
We've swapped our bottom of 6. So we already know that the polar opposites of this blind 1 and 6 are in our bottom 2. Sorry, bottom 2.
Now, you all, like I said, it doesn't really matter because y'all are double blind. But also, all I did was I poured these into the Boston round,
Okay.
labeled them at the bottom,
Right.
set them on the table, mixed them all up. So the order they're poured is nothing methodical at all. It's just random on the pour.
I got
Okay.
you. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think that. I just went, like I said, from the beginning when I went through them, and those 2 stuck out to me as things that I did not like, and for different reasons. And I actually scored them. I scored number 1 a 4, and I scored number 6 a 5.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my 2.
Those are
Yeah.
Coke mixers.
Those are Coke mixers. Probably still better than JD mixed with Coke. Oh,
Anything's better than JD.
Okay, I got to talk about that.
touch the nerve with you, huh?
No, so
I love he's no.
So silly.
So any listeners in Tennessee,
Lynchburg,
the Malones down there and Drakes and whatever they have in Tennessee,
right?
they will be getting the whiskey, and then anyone in Lexington area, OBC, will be getting the rye.
Okay.
So last week I was lucky enough to go to Nashville. Mosick went, I went, Connor, a couple of the KSD guys, Bucky went, and we actually picked a JD rye and a JD bourbon.
Oh, very nice.
And went to a Predators game, man. That was really cool. Never been to an NHL game. That was awesome. But we picked a great rye and I'm gonna say very good. I'm not gonna say great whiskey, but borderline between very good and to great on the whiskey.
Okay.
But based on the price, I mean, total buys, like all day long buys.
Right.
What's cool, man, was our tour guide was a guy named Jed. Hadn't met him before, but Thomas Christian knows him. A couple guys know him. He was flat out an amazing tour guide.
He was amazing in Beverly Hillbillies as well.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I love it. I watched the show growing up. Our guy that did the barrel tasting was Clint. Clint's been there like 24 years, I think he said.
Okay.
And Nacho, Josh.
Oh, Nacho.
He was off work that day, but he happened to be there.
Sweet.
So he joined us for our tasting, man.
Really? He's a good guy.
It was awesome. And then the cool part, I think the guy's name was Kevin. He came on the whole entire tour with us. I didn't know who he was. We walked into the distillery, after the regular tour to go do the barrel tasting.
Right.
And this guy, he's big older guy, heavyset guy, big overalls, stuff on him. We thought he might just been like a local, like the mascot or something.
Right.
But no, he's the wood guy, they say. So he has a lot to do with their barreling down there and stuff and all the wood. But so it was a great pick. But so what was cool was we got to get Clint and Nacho and Kevin. So we had three like of the premier
the guys.
Jack Daniels guys
Right.
there in our pick, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was awesome. And then Mosick, I don't know if anybody's paid attention to him online or not lately, but his camera work, his pictures, his actual photography is next level. So we're fortunate enough that Mosick actually brought his camera, and man, he took us some beautiful photos.
Stunning pictures.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he does a great job with this stuff.
But if anybody's in that area, I literally possibly that might be my favorite distillery now for just overall like the history of it. The mystique of it, the quality of the product they produce. They have like 97 rick houses.
Right. And
everything is made there, 24/7 operation.
And they're bringing out 14-year-old, like what, 114
They
proof
just bottled that like
107?
2 weeks ago. No, it's like 120-something proof.
120-something
14-year-old
whiskey, yeah.
But,
was it cold there?
It was cold that day. So when we were there, remember it was super hot.
Yeah.
And went to the Springs area and it was super cold. It was just cold all the way around. But man, such an amazing place. And they said again, I think it was like 67 to 70% of their employees are generational.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, man, it's just the history there, dude, is insane.
That's great.
Are we ready to reveal our fourth place?
I'm only on first and second
Oh.
as far as battling. So yeah, you can do fourth, and yeah, it's
All
that's
right.
fine.
Okay.
All right. So my fourth place
Right.
is glass number 5.
Haha, same. I had to look down. Yeah, fourth place is 5. I wrote down faint Snickers characteristics. And faint Snickers ain't something that I want in my whiskey. I like a bold Snickers, but not a
Or
faint.
in your Blizzard.
Or in Blizzard, yeah. This one tastes like Oreo cookies. What? That would be good.
Number 5 is also my fourth place.
Oh wow!
Boom.
Look at that. So we are in
Top
agreement. So we're down to number 2, 3, and 4 for our top 3. Correct?
All right. Are we ready to reveal number 3?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm only going between first and second. Still.
All right.
Okay.
So my number 3 was glass 2.
Okay. That was close. I went with glass 4 for my number 3.
One of the dark ones.
Yes.
Wow.
I went with glass 4 for my number 3.
Holy wow!
But it was edged out slightly. Like it was a 7 versus a 7.5. So I liked glass 2. The fruity, wood, weird funk characteristics stood out to me of glass 2 over 4. But Now I've kind of revealed what my number one is without inadvertently.
Give me 1 second to hit my first and second place.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Y'all are like confused now. You're like, how the heck did this guy pick glass 4 as his third place? Oh, you know what's funny though? When I retasted it now.
Wait, what is Kenny's third place?
Wait, glass 2. Wait, hold on one
Same
second.
as yours, number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
Oh, I didn't say that yet.
When you didn't say it, but when I retasted it now, I get why you guys don't like 2 because 2 does have more grain characteristics.
2 is perfumey. It tastes like perfume.
It's very floral.
Yeah,
Floral perfume.
Yeah.
it's floral.
It's
perfumey.
lighter, but I did enjoy that. But there was a little bit of grain in there that kind of kicked it not being top 2.
Yeah, you know what's funny now that you guys said it and I'd retasted it after sitting here for a while, it does have more grain characteristics than I like, but I still like it as a whiskey. Again, when I'm telling you I'm splitting hairs, like I said, 7.25 versus 7.5, I was pretty much splitting hairs between 2 and 3. So go either way.
No, that's
not 2 and 3. 2
the
and
floral
4.
parts did stand out to me.
Yeah.
My 1 and 2 place,
That's where I'm tough right now.
I literally have changed it 3 times.
Okay.
So they are pretty even to me.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. Just I keep going back. It's like, okay, maybe I like this one better. Okay, nope, I like this one better. So it's pretty much a tie on 1 and 2. But I did place 1. You know, I did have a top dog.
Okay.
Man, I'm having a tough time between 1 and 2.
Yeah, me too.
So my third place was glass number 2, the same as Steven's.
Okay.
So far, Steven and I are the exact same.
Right.
Can we
Like literally the exact same. No, I'm not going to kiss you. No. But
He said, "Can we?"
we are.
I would say, can we finish it?
Oh, okay.
Finish.
Which is better than a kiss.
Can we consummate the the marriage?
But to be fair, so at that Jack Daniels pick we were on,
Right.
when we poured the ryes, we had 3 ryes.
Okay.
2 were darker than the other one,
Okay.
but the darkest one, man, when I was drinking them,
Right.
even though I'm trying to be blind, even trying to be, I'm not trying to be biased about it, I was leaning towards the darker one.
Psychology.
It is, man. That's why you got a blind.
Right.
So I closed my eyes, and I had Mossick hand me each one, and there was a clear winner, and it was not the darker one, even though I was trying to force it in my head to taste better.
Right.
So right now what I'm going to do as well, since Anthony picked glass number 2 ahead of 3, and I'm already having a tough time between my 1 and 2 anyway.
2 ahead of 4.
Yeah, 2 ahead of
I'm
4.
sorry, 2 ahead of 4.
Right.
I'm going to close my eyes. And Anthony, if you can hand me glass 2, 3, and 4 in any order you want to.
Okay.
I'm going to rank them, and that'll be my final.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And as he's doing this, I think when you guys were doing the best of, I think probably you guys, including the Black Glens.
The Black Glens makes a big difference.
I
man.
mean, that really, can say this is the best of because, like Kenny said before, you take away the color, you can really pick a winner then.
Right. Absolutely. Well, the Black Glens came about because of Jack Daniels, because the one year the Coy Hill
That
was
155.1?
so dark that as soon as it was in the glass, you're like, oh, there's Coy Hill. There was no avoiding it because it was literally like 10 shades darker than anything else that was in the competition that year. So that's how that came about. And that, it's funny, that's turned into quite the trend now. There's a lot of groups that sell like numbered Black Glencairns, things like that.
Oh, numbered.
Yeah.
If only we had a shop.
We need to make a shop. All right. I just did Kenny's little blind there, and I think he knows what he likes.
My eyes were closed.
Correct.
You handed me from my right, then to my center, then to my left.
Yes,
All
that's
right, so
correct.
that's why-
Yeah.
gosh.
I just went in reverse order.
And that's why I'm telling you guys, it's like those comments somebody talk about, oh, this Russell's 15 can't be better than Michter's 20. Dude,
It can.
it can.
Yeah, it can.
It really can, depending on how you taste and what you taste.
All right,
You
Kenny.
put them side by side, I think I might like Michter's 20 better, but if I'm knowing exactly what I'm drinking
Right.
and they're in front of me,
Right.
or you have 2, you can tell which one's which.
That's correct.
But anyway,
I think I've decided between 1 and 2 now.
see, I
Okay.
still can't decide.
I think there was a slight little something
All right,
that
so
made
for
me
me-
pick one over the other.
So for me, glass number 4 has a little bit of a marshmallowy to it that makes me like that, but I'm still wanting to lean to glass number 3. But Anthony, you are going to be so shocked and surprised tonight.
Okay, I can't wait because I know what my number 1 is, but I can't wait to hear because one thing I haven't done in a long time is blind. I don't want to call this the bottom shelf because it's not. We don't know what these bottles cost. I know that the Jim Beam is
All
a
right.
budget bottle, but the other things that are in there, yeah, I'll be shocked. Like you tell me something's a Heaven Hill 7-year. If I liked it the best, then I'm gonna go clear the shelf.
All right, I got my order.
All right, I'm
Got
good
the
too.
order.
All right.
Second place.
Second place is
Go
glass 4.
Okay, Anthony.
I had that as my third place, but it was
That's
between
right,
second
that's
and third.
right.
But I mean, yes, my number one. If we're revealing, what is
Or
your?
not.
Wait,
what's
you're
yours?
just doing 2.
What's your second place then?
Second place is 2. Then yeah,
All right.
yep, by a hair.
My second place is glass number 4 as well.
Okay.
Stephen and I picked exactly the same tonight.
All right.
Yeah, and I was literally between.
So if anybody
the two
else
of
is
us.
looking for a podcast co-host, boy, drinks are catching up. Me and Stephen are looking for a co-host.
Why are you guys kicking me off over that? Over the 2-3?
I'm teasing.
Oh, you better not.
So
I was going
Kenny-
to say it was very, very close.
You are the podcast, bro. I told you that before. Love
Come
you.
on, man.
The
love
reason
you
I
too, man.
picked 3 over 4, 3 seemed to be just a hair smoother than
Yeah.
4. 4 had a little bit of a
bit of a bite.
nip,
Little bit of a bite.
little bit, and so that's why I picked 3 over 4.
And I like that little toasted marshmallow on 4.
Yeah.
But 3, man, it also had more of like a sweeter,
Yeah.
brown sugary, and it just, it was good.
Well, I will say that.
So what's your first place, Anthony?
number 3 is my first place.
Oh,
all
so
of us
we
picked number
all-
3
yeah,
for first
all of
place.
us- yeah, I had it as first place. Yeah, I had it from the beginning. As soon as I drank it, I said it was like delicious layered brown sugar oak. That's the one I guessed. If there is a 7-year NBC in here, I guessed it was 7-year NBC, but I don't know if there is or not because it was just what I've come to realize about their aging process. That's
Yep.
what it struck me as. So I don't know. Hopefully it is.
All right, so to summarize,
Yep.
Yep.
just going from 6 to 1, first places, I've got glass 6, 1, 5, 2, 4, 3.
That's my exact order as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony
I only
flipped 1 and 6.
I only flipped 1 and 6, and I flipped 2 and 4.
So you flipped all of them except first place.
What's that?
So you flipped all of them except first place. But that's fine.
Well, I mean, again, we're talking about like
no.
minutia separation.
But I
yeah.
mean, just to be honest with you,
Yeah.
number 6 and 1 to me were very close at being flipped.
right, and
Okay.
they're both not
So-
good. I don't want either of them.
No,
Right.
6 stood out to me right away. I
Yeah.
didn't like it at all.
I want 3 whiskeys only in this, which is 2, 3, and 4. That's it. Those are my top 3. So
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah,
Now, I am single blind.
right,
Y'all are double blind.
correct.
Based on what I'm guessing on single blind is you're going to be incredibly shocked about
Oh, no.
your second place, which is our third place.
I'm
We'll
gonna
see
be.
here in a minute.
I can't wait to be shocked by it.
I'm going to go grab the Boston Rounds off the table because they're labeled on the bottom what they are.
Okay.
But I did not even look when I poured, so I have no idea. Hang on one second.
Here we go.
All right, so I'm just going to go in order from 1 through 6
Here we
Okay.
go.
No place.
because we have
glass.
different scores.
Go in glass order.
Yep.
it's
So
fine.
glass number 1,
Beam.
and if I were to guess glass number 1, I'm going to think it's Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond.
I was Heaven Hill or Beam, one of the two.
Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond.
Ah,
So this is a $60 bottle,
turd.
100 proof, right?
So turdy. Yeah.
It is a turd.
Yep.
So if anybody's been to Bourbon for a little while, you can look around and see that Heaven Hill right there behind you is a white label with green writing that says 6 year.
So much better.
That was $15?
Yep.
$18?
Yep.
Crushes this $60 bottle.
Oh, we did that Heaven Hill blind.
Absolutely crushes this $60 bottle.
I've said since the beginning that bottle, that $60 bottle they put on a shelf is trash, and I stick by it.
Yeah. That is actually, they should be ashamed of that.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Glass number 2.
Glass number
Oh,
2,
God, the one that I liked.
it's perfumey.
Uh-oh.
So, like I said, I know what they are. My guess, I'm going to say this is Premier Drams.
Ooh.
And, yep, this is a Premier Drams 7 year.
Is that the really expensive one?
So this is a Willet distillate
Okay.
that was
Yep.
aged at Castle and Key
Yeah.
that
Don't tell the MSRP on that.
Yeah, what is the MSRP of the first bottle?
$60,
Okay. What is the MSRP in the second bottle?
$225.
And it's totally not worth that.
Not worth it at all.
Yeah.
So, all right, glass number 3.
Glass 3.
And if I were to guess, because I know it's single blind to me, this is the Old Louisville Ryan Alves Who Rhino Shorty. Let's look at the bottom and see. Nope, I got it wrong. This is the NBC 7 year.
That's the one I guess was
Yep,
NBC, right?
NBC 7-year.
There you go.
So this is the Carmageddon pick.
Okay.
NBC 7-year. So I got those two flipped. So yeah, first place, man, by far, this NBC 7-year.
That's
Bro,
good.
I called it.
It is fire.
And I called NBC on that.
It is fire.
I
It
love
is
it.
so good.
So that I
Love
cannot buy in a store.
No, that was a group pick, but
That's a sick
if you look
pick.
up top where my NBC is, I've got 8 or 9 bottles of NBC. Whether it's 5 years or 7 years, it is literally almost motor oil dark on most of those.
Okay.
So if you see a lot of good, in general.
Okay.
So when you go in and you go to Liquor Barn and Kroger and Total Wine or wherever, if you see some NBC picks, just look and see how dark it is. You know, if it's dark, most likely it's going to be decent or better than something's light. You know.
So what's the price on this one on the Nashville?
What are Nashville's one? Are they 150 or are they just $100? I think they're $100, right?
I think they're between
100, 120 bucks.
For a pick?
Yep, for a pick.
Well,
yeah.
no, well, just for this 7 years. So, like, if you go to the gift shop, they probably have some there.
Oh, okay.
Of different barrels.
Okay.
I have to look online right now.
I
Probably.
bet it's $99, right?
Yeah, probably-
Is it
probably
99 to
$99,
119, somewhere through there? All right, so now that I was wrong on that one, I know what this other one's going to be then. So glass number 4, then, it will be the Old Louisville Who Rhino Shorty pick. Yep.
Okay.
So it's a Bourbon Outfitter pick. It was a shorty that the Who Rhino was on.
Okay.
So Ryan Alves, shout out, 7-year. So that was mine and Steven's second place, Anthony's third place.
Yep. By a hair.
And what's the price on that?
That was $150,
Okay.
I believe.
All right.
But those are not available.
Right. Did you find a price on the last one, Anthony?
I'm looking right now. Sorry.
No, you're good.
And then glass number
5.
5, and I could be wrong on this. Like I said, I'm going to guess this as being the old Ezra 7-year.
Oh, I
This is
didn't
that
put
old-
an old Ezra. So.
And, yep, OE7.
Okay.
So it's a 7-year old Ezra, 114 proof.
Dang, that's the one we used to love.
Yep.
The Heaven Hill distillate when they started the Heaven
But
Hill.
this is
distillate?
like what's now it's like what 89,
It's
99
like $90.
bucks.
Yeah,
But it was
40.
It used to be $40.
Now it's 90?
This is like 89, 99 bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
By the
so-
way, breaking news: Nashville Barrel Bourbon. They have anywhere from $75 to $120. That's a spread. So
I would say
75
100 to 120
120
then. 75 is probably their batches.
Okay.
no, this is they have a 7-year-old
Single barrel.
single barrel
Okay.
right now
Yeah.
for $75.
So
that leaves last place.
Michael and James.
They're all across the board though. They're
Yeah.
they're anywhere from that. That's the lowest. 75 is the lowest price. Yeah.
So Michael and James of NBC met us at the Predators game.
Oh,
Talked to
nice.
them for a
Very
little
good.
bit.
Yeah.
And they are doing some great. And we've even talked on a podcast before about that. Like, I have those 5 years up there. Those
Right.
5 years,
Yeah.
dude. They're motor oil dark.
I think I want to go do a pick at NBC because like they got some great stuff there. Like
They're getting good barrels, but
Yeah.
the way they do the heat cycling and
Very
opening this door versus that door and blowing this fan and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're doing some good stuff in NBC. So OE7 was,
5th bottle.
but that was mine and your fourth
fourth,
place.
yes.
Okay. Last place is the Jim Beam 7-year.
Wow.
Yep. I rated it.
So that was Anthony's
fifth,
fifth place and our
place.
sixth place.
Yeah.
It was clearly my 6th place.
Here's the
Stood
big
out.
takeaway from this
Yeah.
though. What are the two things that in last place? The Heaven Hill 7-year and the Jim Beam 7-year. And I will definitively say right now that I would not buy either of those bottles. You would not. I hated. Okay, we did a blind, Steven. Do you remember we did the green Heaven Hill, the white
label,
white
and the-
label,
and the
and a
Heaven
new
Hill.
one?
Yep.
I picked the Bottle and Bond last. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I did.
The new one, the new
Yeah.
Bottle and Bond 7-year last. And tonight, with
It's-
6 things, it's still in last. That's why I won't touch that bottle, even at $50. They just
now,
they
granted,
ruined
that,
it.
that
They
bottle
ruined it.
year is still this. It's still the same bottle we did in that episode.
It is.
So I don't know if it's changed. Because I mean, I doubt it. But that's what 4 years old at
Well,
this
it's been
point.
open,
that
yeah.
bottle.
You know what?
What's that?
I'm gonna go pour mine right now.
Okay.
Oh, what's happening?
We have a blind on a blind.
Nope, no blind.
Oh, okay.
What's he
Gonna
got here?
recreate
What is
something.
this? Oh,
This is the discontinued Heaven Hill 6-year-old.
Oh yeah, the
Bottle.
6-year-old.
oh,
yeah,
the
yeah.
old school one. Yeah, here we go. You're gonna pour
The
that
white
out.
label was, I think, what won.
I think I was between white or green. I think I like the green too. I think the green may have won for me, which is funny because the green. But again, green and white, they're both good. I just can't wait to taste this now, Kenny. Thank you. This is great.
Oh yes, we all chose green.
We all chose green.
All three of us chose green.
But I could say green or white.
What was the green? Was it? That's the lower proof, right?
The lower proof one, 90 proof one.
Yeah.
But again, they erased that gem because they were dumping all kinds of stuff into these batches. Here we go.
You know what they're going to do in 4 or 5 years from now?
What?
Do the same thing.
Yeah, they are.
We're going to be in a glut soon, which is good for us, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we're going to drink some premium whiskey at a lower price point.
That's true.
I
You're
love
right.
it.
On the shelf too.
Oh, dude, it's going to be.
Oh, it's gonna be Wild West.
I heard that old Heartland Wheat said he wants all BT products to be on the shelf in abundance.
Drink that.
Okay.
Wow. For $18, $15, whatever it is.
The price is what was
Right.
great. God, remember which was it? The green
better.
or the white that was like under 10?
Oh,
Remember
the
back
green
in the
was
day?
It was a
nine-
green.
Green
Was
was
the green was like-
This
$9.99.
is lower proof. This is 100 proof.
Okay.
The greens were $9.99.
I thought it was like $8 or something. Wasn't
It was $9.99.
$10?
And
This
then
is, I think this was $15.
This
when it
was
the current,
15.
right? 15, 18.
And then when they started to have the discontinued rumors,
Yeah.
they were like, I think 14 and 20, and that was blasphemy, right?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah, I do remember
$20, blasphemy. And now people pay, I think like $80 for this, and I get why. I like this better than the stuff they put out in the 7-year bottle and bond.
It's really smooth,
Right.
but really like no flavor.
It's very
very-
smooth, yeah.
yeah.
It's an even keel,
Yeah.
a little bit of caramel hit, like a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of peanut, actually. Well, one thing I'm going to say is I don't think, and I know the Heaven Hill is not as good as the NBC, but if I was going to rank it amongst these, I would definitely put it in the middle of the pack.
Yeah,
If
I was
not,
gonna say it's in the middle.
It's in the middle.
It's really in the middle.
Yeah.
So my big takeaway is do not buy the Heaven Hill 7-year bottle and bond.
And they really don't buy the Jim Beam either.
But
Yeah.
it's $22.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
that's so I'm saying my big takeaway
You're right.
is
You're
no
right.
Heaven Hill bottle and bond.
100%.
You know what, Kenny? You don't have a straight Jim Beam white label, do you?
No, I have Heaven Hill.
I meant to bring it over tonight
Yeah.
to compare these two.
But you know what I was going to say, Steven? I think that Jim Beam White Label has a good amount of character. I think this carries the extra oak. But I mean, honest to God, if it's 15 or $18 versus 20 some, get
Cheaper.
this one, get the other one.
Yeah.
I would probably prefer the cheaper one.
And the other one's going to amount to a 12-pack of Coke anyway, the $8.
Right. And again, yeah, Kenny, big takeaway. God, what is Heaven Hill doing with that $60 bottle? They should
Marketing,
literally.
man.
What I was getting ready to say is they're putting out an Old Fitz. Did you guys see from Bourbon Con this weekend?
Yeah.
They're putting out an Old Fitz 7-year. It's going to be regularly available for $50-$60, and I hope to God it's better than this crapola that they put in a bottle now. Like, and I know that's a strong thing to say, but like I've been saying it since they did it.
Here's the thing.
So I've remained unchanged.
You all were double blind.
Right.
No, I'm actually glad that this
Double
matched
blind.
up.
You all were double blind.
Right.
That this matched up with our Heaven Hill episode with the 7-year, because I remember like not liking it all.
Right.
And here it's,
Right.
Now, I do want to give a shout out.
Okay, please.
So my boy Chris Baker,
Okay.
awesome dude, man. Awesome dude. Salt of the earth dude. He's always loved the old Ezra 7-year.
Okay.
And like I said, I started getting to bourbon in 2020.
Right.
Chris and I did a couple of little road trips together, bought some bottles and stuff. But even though this is now $90, $100, it was $49,
Yeah,
$59.
it's a big difference.
Yeah. I remember getting
in
it.
2020, I bought them for $59.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. That is fourth place tonight
Right.
for me and Steven. For you as well, right? Fourth place, I think.
Number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fourth
Yeah.
place. Yeah, we agreed on it.
Mine and Steven's third place is a $225 bottle.
Correct.
Going up against a $150 bottle against a $125 bottle.
yeah.
So for the money, that's still hanging pretty good.
Yeah.
man. So,
That's true.
And honestly,
Yeah.
nobody in this whole entire tasting thing has any business charging north of $100 for their 7-year distillate besides NBC.
it's good, bro.
Yeah, that's the only one. Premier Drams, get out of here.
This
I
old
don't care if I
Louisville,
picked the
though,
second or third.
This old Louisville.
Old Louisville's
it's pretty
good.
close.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I went back.
Yeah.
Steve and I both went back and
Yeah,
forth.
I
I
mean,
changed my scores
look,
3 times.
you know,
I mean, I got scribbles on my page.
Yeah.
On placement.
I wrote down that it was a very sweet, nice, like that's a toasted marshmallow you talked about. Like, so again, yeah, I'm not going to rake on a mean. Like, I think that they do great stuff there. I just, man.
So
7-year bourbon.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I need to go look at that. I need to look at the price of that. Because in general, a mean is usually about $99 for a 7-year.
Yeah.
So I said 150, but most of his 10 to 11-year-old stuff is 150.
Right.
So I might be totally freaking wrong. But in general, he's usually about $99 for his 7-year stuff.
Gotcha.
So it might be.
So we did this journey of six pours of 7-year, right?
Right.
Can we learn anything from what we just tasted, as far as brands or prices or what we experienced?
Man, if there's one big takeaway for me, it's like, you know, it's going to be repeating what Kenny just said, which is that the Heaven Hill stuff is just, that's overpriced, especially compared to what they used to do. The Jim Beam, okay, it might make you feel good to have some extra age or an age statement on a bottle, but
An
like,
age statement for $25.
for
Dude, it's not
$25,
good.
no, it's not
I would
good.
get the white label.
It's not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not good.
I
Yeah.
think the extra oak does it bad.
yeah.
Then good.
That's my stuff right now. I mean, in NBC, I again, guys, I wrote down this has to be NBC in my notes on first taste because it was that good.
That's good.
And I don't know any other 7-year-old. I mean, again, no offense to old Louisville, anybody else.
The old Louisville and the NBC, look, they're both dark.
They're both
like
dark.
that.
They're both dark.
And you're saying for the Nashville Barrel Company that
Right.
if you is it just that distillery you can get the 7-year for like $70-$80?
80 to 1.
No, not the pick. I'm just saying just the
I'm
straight
sure
up.
they have. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
other
So
stuff.
I mean, that might be a good price for 7 years.
oh yeah,
Right.
If you
They're,
can get your hands on it from the
Yeah,
distillery.
James and Michael, man, they're doing some good things, man.
they really
They're doing
are.
some really good.
They
things.
really are. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just good.
I know
What about
to
you,
say-
sir?
I know what to say.
What?
Boom.
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 And with that, thanks for listening to this episode. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also,
Head on over to our partner, the Woodwork Collective, at woodworkcollective.shop. Enter code MASHUP for a 15% discount.
let us know your thoughts in the bottom of the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.